Well, the Center for Peace and Reconciliation is working on a mission of bringing peace and people together to learn about different cultures. And today, joining us to my immediate left, she's the next guest speaker for the program on Wednesday. We have Lydia Brenneman, and then to her left, Paula Snyder for the Center of Peace and Reconciliation. So thank you both for coming today.
Thank you.
All right, so Paula, let's start with you. Again, refresh people about the center and the mission.
Yes, so the Center for Peace and Reconciliation is a new program, a new center that we're starting here in Lima, really with the effort to bring people together. One of the realizations is that as our culture becomes more polarized, people don't know each other, they're not talking together, we're not meeting across our differences. And so really we wanted to create this space where people could come together to learn to know each other so that we could create a better city, a better community where people are relating and creating peace together.
Mm-hmm. And you do that through different programs, and we have one coming up on Wednesday. And Lydia, you're the guest speaker, and you're tackling quite an issue, but I know it's close to your heart. The understanding of Palestinian and Israeli relations. So what kind of things will you talk about? Give us kind of a sneak peek of what people will hear.
First, I'll do an introduction how I am a Palestinian who was born in Bethlehem. And then with maps, show a little bit about the conflict and then tell stories of how that conflict has impacted my life and my family's life. I want a little story about my grandma, a little story about my dad, my story, and our son's story as well.
Right, yeah, and I think when you tell stories about family, then people understand better. I mean, we hear about this conflict in the news a lot, and we just don't really understand.
Yeah, I want to put a little humanity to what's been happening. It is a conflict over land, but I also wanted to share stories from my life.
Right, yeah. So after you're done, what do you want people to take home, and maybe something that maybe we could do? What's your goal, maybe, hopefully?
Well, I'm very happy that Paula told me that at the center we'll have time to have discussions. And one of the questions is, where do we go from here? The more we understand, the more we talk across the table to each other, the more we learn, because not all that's in the news is all quite true. Right. There are some things behind the news, and I hope to bring about a perspective that is from a Palestinian perspective.
Right.
And then how do we, Israelis and Palestinians, learn to live with one another in peace? We can.
See, you say we can, and that's hopefully the goal, right? I mean, it seems like for years, you know, the governments have been trying to work it out, and, you know, United States is trying to help. And are we meddling, maybe sometimes you would say, or?
Yeah, I will also try to share a little bit of blocks to peace. What were some things that make peace not happen? And also a little bit of the biblical perspective of how people view Israel and the Holy Land and end times, and a little bit of that.
Right, yeah. Paula, this seems like a really great, timely topic. I mean, because we still hear about, you know, the conflict in the news, and so this is a good one to be bringing up.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, things have heated up again in the Middle East, so it's timely. But I think also, it helps us to understand that this is not just an issue out here, that there are people in our communities whose lives are impacted. And so part of what we want to do is have people in our local community tell their stories that brings the world, it makes it a little smaller, and it brings it home to Lima.
Right, yeah. Okay, so it's Wednesday, June 28th from 7 to 8:30. It's free. People just need to arrive and...
We are located at 129 South Pierce Street. So if people know where the Cup building is, the Church United Pantry, we are in that exact same space in behind Trinity United Methodist Church there. So just come on out. It's going to be a great evening of Lydia sharing and then time for discussion. And I think there might be some baklava. Is that true?
Oh,
yes. So
promised I'd make some.
Oh,
yes.
right.
So that's worth
Nothing
just
else.
coming
That's
out for
worth
that.
coming too. Yeah. Well, thank you both for coming today and telling us about it.
Yep.
All right, don't go away. We'll look at the weather forecast next.